journey's just begun. Pokemon, more the better. Pokemon, Team Rocket's on the run. Pokemon, we're friends forever. You've got the power right in your hands. They'll evolve before your eyes. A world of magic at your command. You can be a master if you try. Pokemon.
Well. everybody. We should be back from that ad break I triggered at the rather last moment of being able to do so without interrupting the gameplay. Hi, everybody. Are you ready for some fun? I hope so. I'm Super Train Station H, autistic gamer and writer, and today we are going to be, it's already the last Saturday of the month, but we made it to the last Saturday of the month, so there's something to be happy about anyway, and it's almost April. Our next stream is going to be, and wow, it's already going to be in April, and guess what? It's going to be the second day of April. It's going to be next Thursday, because the last Thursday stream was a lot of fun, so I'm really happy to be able to make those simple, hour and change long streams a part of my schedule, hopefully. I don't know how long my hiatus coming up is going to be, and it's going to be around 70-ish days from now. I guess. I don't know. I'm pantsing this. I'm pantsing everything about this, but we won't be pantsing our, and by pantsing, I mean, like, by the seat of my pants, not that I'm, like, yanking its pants off. Let's set this for 10 minutes. We'll play an hour of Pokemon, and then I'll premiere my new, hold on. Yeah. 10 minutes should do it. Can you all hear the game music? I'd love to know if y'all could hear the game music. Hold on. Like, can y'all hear the game music? Why can't I hear the game music? There's my right. Okay, the voice capture. Oh yeah, I turned off the sound of my capture card. There we go. That's more like it. I really don't have anything in particular planned. I don't really have the means to put together an Easter stream at this point. Yeah, maybe down the line I could do some more, like, properly themed streams, but, for now, I mean, I have the timer on there, so in 10 minutes we'll get to Pokemon, we'll play that for an hour, and then I'm gonna be premiering my new autism video. Now, the video is still unlisted. I might do some more alterations, some more edits on it first, but it is complete enough for me to show it to you. There's still 2 more. I decided this is going to be a series of 4 videos, and it's not going to be like barrier aggression where it's like, oh, video 1 will be this, video 2 will be that. And no, it's more like, I guess, just 3 very different videos, sort of. Doggone. 3 very different videos on the same subject, with the last one being more of a candid, just sort of commentary on why I did the previous 3 videos. So, I finished the first 2 videos. The video I decided to present first is actually the second one I filmed. Technically, it's 2 videos in one, because I filmed 1 video. I filmed the first half of the video we'll be watching today. I had it nearly ready to go last week, and then I discovered something that was so wild that it completely recontextualized the rest of my video. So I filmed the second half to the video that's very clearly was very clearly filmed in a separate section, and I'm very explicit about that. I was like, hey, I was going to have end the video here, but something happened that's so wild that I'm going to have to completely change my approach. And so I went ahead and filmed that, edited that. I actually made some edits, like the unlisted upload I'll be showing you. I only uploaded about an hour ago. I edited it together today and uploaded. Now, there are only very minor changes that were made today in particular. Yeah, we had to hit a shelter a couple more times in order to get the Pokemon out of the image and onto the actual playfield where we can hit it with a Pokeball a few times. Come on. No! Okay, alright, we're still... Yeah! We got him, good. Okay. And... yeah, so that video will be a half-hour long, and it'll come at about the midpoint of the stream. There may only be up to... Thanks, Pikachu. There may only be maybe about 2 hours of gameplay today, but there'll be a half-hour block in the middle. Well, I mean, like 10 minutes of this, or like 6 minutes more of this. Always when I have the opportunity to launch, like right after you catch a new Pokemon, it gives you the opportunity to launch into a new area, but it looks like I still have that opportunity open to me if I can not bungle the shot. Come on, just go straight down. Oh, why is it so hard? Like, pinball games where I'm just trying to get a high score are the easiest ones to deal with. Alright. Alright, and... You know? Huh. I just had an interesting thought. You know? No, I'm not gonna be. I won't be. Hey, and let's... And we have a chance to catch a Zubat. We want to catch a Zubat. Bats are cool. Zubats are cool Pokemon. They got cute little faces. They don't even have eyes. They just have cute little mouths. Yet their faces are so very expressive if you're creative enough. And we want to catch them. And of course we have the music that's based on... Oh, come on. Yeah, there we go. That's what we want to see. That's what we... Oh, there we go. Hopefully that's enough to... Oh, come on. Oh, we almost got the ball to go into the area where we want it to be at. There we go. Yeah, there's sort of a gravity that launches the ball upward. No! Yeah, okay, we have the chance. We have now they're out on the field. We only have to hit them 3 times. Come on. 1. I think we have infinite launch. I think we have infinite balls, effectively, or infinite relaunches. Infinite ball saves, I guess you could say. While in catch-em mode. Alright. Oh, come on. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Pikachu. Oh, no, not quite. Not quite. We only have to hit them a couple, like once more. No, twice more. My goodness, we have less than a minute left. Why am I having... It's just a big, obvious target in the middle of the playfield. I'm having the hardest time... Well, I have to hit him once more. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Come on, once more. Yeah! We got Zubat. We got Zubat. Yay, Zubat. Alright, now... Bonus multiplier times 3. Okay, so we don't want to we want to score as many points as we can before the field multiplier times 2. We want to get as so that's when we got the S ball, which is supposed to be the Great Ball, but it still has the S on it because in Japan it was called Super Ball because the Whammo Toy Company's trademark, I guess, does not apply here. Alright, so it was good while it lasted. And a ball bonus. Let's see what we got. And launch. And, okay. So, we want to get... No, I think... Yeah, it's tricky to time... So in the center of the board, you see there's an arrow. It'll either send you the ball up, down, or into the... Shelter, or no, I guess that's a Cloyster, or either into the Cloyster or the Slowpoke. And I never considered how, I guess, thematically coupled those two are on the board, because Shelter can cause Slowpoke to evolve into Slowbro. So having Cloyster and Slowpoke up there is kind of thematically appropriate to their, the symbiotic relationship between their two species. And then, oh, I didn't consider that, okay, there's Shelter up there. And almost all the Pokemon here are water Pokemon, yet Shelter, Slowpoke, Poliwag, Psyduck, all of these are water Pokemon on the blue table, and yet on the... Oh, come on. Yeah, thank you, Pikachu. But yet on the red table, it isn't exclusively Fire-type Pokemon, but they really went heavy on the blue, I guess, water imagery for association with the color blue. I mean, I certainly knew about Meryl at this point. I'm surprised Meryl wasn't featured in here. Oh, we have the... Let's evolve Zubat. We have the chance to evolve our Pokemon, and we have a little more time left to attempt to do that than we do in this section of the game. Pokemon is tired. We need to get some more experience. Now, in Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire, you have to collect EX icons that are actually on the playfield. But here, I guess you just have to knock them into the shelters some. Or... yeah, into the shelters, or I guess those targets on the left and right. Oh, come on. That didn't count. I was like a pixel away from actually hitting the intended target. Oh, I aimed specifically for the right bumper, little pop bumper thing up there. Okay. Okay, there we go. So how many more times do you have to hit it? And Clackaboy saying, would Adorum fit in a perfect addition to the Pokemon monster lineup? I would say so. I mean, they could be like normal and poison type. Because they do have retractable stingers hidden in their tails. Much like Lunarians themselves do. But yeah, I haven't talked about the fact that I do have a venomous stinger on my tail. Which is, it's not deadly or anything, but it is certainly... yeah, I guess if Lunarians were Pokemon, they'd probably be like normal and poison, which is not a very common Pokemon typing, I don't think. But yeah, the like Lunarians and Dorums both have venomous stingers, and they're retractable on both of them, and they're on the tails of both of them. Okay. Yeah, as for what moves, they definitely would be able to have probably Poison, Sting, Restrict. Oh wow, we upgraded a ball all the way to the Ultra Ball. Come on, come on, come on. We're gonna get through this evolution segment, or we're gonna end before we go on to whether or not before we go on to our main game of the day, Pokemon. Yeah, come on. How is this not counting? We've hit those little targets on the side so many times. Nah. Okay, let's save and quit. We're done with this. We're done with this for now. Okay, we game overed anyway, so why not? Okay. Alright. Alright. I'm just swapping out the cartridge to Pokemon Red. There we go. There we go. Now, if we pull up our game, hey, and I normally don't do this. I actually did take my analog pocket with me. I didn't do anything. I just was checking over what TMs have which moves on them. I didn't actually progress the game at all, but I did bring my analog pocket with me today during my daily things that I had to do. And so here we are in the Pokemon Center. We need to swap Pidgey back out for our Chars. No, actually, no. We need to fly first. We're going to... Are we in Viridian City? No, we are not. But we should have all the items we need. I decided not to try to teach my Pokemon any new moves until... yeah, I'm deciding not to teach them any new moves unless I'm having a bad time against the Elite Four and can't make it work, and then I'll maybe swap in some new moves. But we'll... Okay, let's... So for now, how about... Yeah, we'll fly back to Viridian City, because that's the closest town to the Pokemon League headquarters. So, our Pokemon League headquarters... Hey there, Juan. How you doing? It's good to see ya. Yeah, we got all the badges. I'm going to be premiering a new autistic self-advocacy video later on. I'm not going to provide a link to it. It's still unlisted on YouTube. But I do want to show it off in preparation to I still have a couple more videos to film in this series of 4. But okay. Okay, yeah. So I forgot. I can't... It's not like the world map. I can only highlight places I've already been. So, the bird little icon is over Viridian City, and you look to the west and north of there is the path to the end of so lucky with issues of Pocket Monsters and debut in America. Yeah, or the American issue, we're talking about the rumblings of the American release. The release of the new Winds and Waves game, or just like this, the one we're playing today. So, Clackaboy redeemed the Game Boy Night. So for the next, what was that? For the next 10 minutes, we'll be playing in Game Boy Night mode. Yep, so that's the backstory within Lunarian H's world, the history of the Game Boy Night system. But for now, we're gonna fly back to Viridian City. We're gonna get our Charizard out of the PC, and we're gonna make our way towards the Pokemon League. Hey there, Mecha Kong. Very cheeky emote there. But yeah, we got Mecha Kong. I'm gonna be debuting a new autism video, an autistic self-advocacy video that I filmed later on today. I know I teased you about it a bit on in private chat. And yeah, we got the Barbie Game Boy here. There was a couple of Barbie games for the Game Boy Color. I don't know if there was any for the regular Game Boy. I know there were definitely a couple for the Game Boy Color. And I believe the Barbie Game Boy was a Toys R Us exclusive. No, I don't want the item system. I want the... Yeah, unfortunately they make you manually deposit and then withdraw instead of just immediately swapping out one Pokemon for another. Yeah, so let's go ahead and save now that and we'll begin making our way towards our final challenges of the game. Oh, and yeah, so in about 45 minutes, I know the timer isn't visible in Game Boy Night mode, but in about 45 minutes, we will be premiering that new autism video. Okay. I forgot the way to go west from here. I guess it's from within the town itself. Did you ever... Yeah, I guess you need a Pokemon with Cut to get in there. I don't know if he gives you something interesting. I'm gonna guess it's something stupid. If he even gives you anything. Yawn, I must have dozed off in the sun. I had this dream about a drowsy eating my dream. What's this? Where'd this TM come from? This is spooky. Here, you can have this TM. Receive TM42. TM42 contains Dream Eater Snore. Can we... Hold on. Can we teach Wigglytuff Dream Eater? If not, I'm going to sell it, because... Booted up TM contains Dream Eater. Teach Dream Eater to a Pokemon. Yes. None of them are able to. So this TM is useless. We're just going to sell it. Get the money, because we're never going to use this TM. And we are so full up on different types of items. Oh, that's the Pokemon Center. Yeah, we're so full up on different types of items that right now we aren't even able... Like, I don't even think I have space to deposit more types of items into the PC. So we're going to sell this, There we go. Make another... Add one... Plus $1,000. Or Poke Yen. And... No, it's just so... It's always fascinating me... Like yeah, it's a little like the Virtual Boy with this color scheme. That's the first thing I thought. But what this is a mode in the analog pocket that lets you display the game as though it were on like the sort of scoreboard of a 90s era pinball table. And I thought, you know what, this looks like some kind of parallel universe virtual like Game Boy model that was red and black. And so I came up with the lore for within Lunarian H's world of a Game Boy model in the early 90s called the Game Boy Night. Hey, Tycho, how you doing? Yeah, so it was kind of inspired by the story of, in the real world story of the Gulf War Game Boy. Some barracks were bombed during the Gulf... Oh, I forgot Gary fought you here. Yeah, and you can tell his theme music is a lot faster. He's getting more irritated, more dangerous, more agitated. And Juan is saying a Bubba emulation box like emulate the Game Boy there's the blue color you went with. Okay, yeah, I use an analog pocket, but I know some people get really stuck up about FPGA stuff and using real cartridges. Use whatever means you have at your disposal to give you the experience that you want to have out of your games. Even if it's dirt cheap, if it doesn't cost a penny, you don't need a fancy solution like a FPGA cartridge-based system. H, what a surprise to see you here. So you're going to the Pokemon League. You collected all the badges too? That's cool. Then I'll whip you, H, as a warm-up for Pokemon League. Come on. Alright, yeah, I try to give him the real, like, anime, like, snotty voice. Gary wants to fight. Wow, he has a full team of 6 Pokemon. None of the gym leaders even had 6 Pokemon. And, yeah, hey there, Reliat. I saw you, sort of chime in for that watch streak. Just like a comet. Whoosh! Yeah, we're just gonna... Subtlety? Why bother? No, actually, we will actually. We'll go for the status. Nice. Got the poison in on them. And I'm gonna drop their defense first. And Reliat, I don't know if you were lurking when I mentioned, we're gonna be premiering the first of 4 autistic self-advocacy videos today. Hey, you're running on some medication right now, low energy today? Alright, so I hope whether you stick around in my stream or not, that the next hours to come will have a bit of a turnaround as the medicine hopefully has the effect that's intended. Alright. So we're guaranteed to, yeah, wow, nothing happened. Their agility is already, like, through the roof, I guess, or their speed. Yeah, it'll pop in and out. Okay, well, I hope you feel better soon, and thanks for dropping in. And this may knock him out? Yeah, I knocked him out. Okay. Gary's about to use Rhyhorn. Yeah, we were trying to get... Yeah. Really, it's saying Pidgeot having no discernible neck in its original sprite always amused them. And Juan's saying, you know, other limited edition Game Boy, there's one... Yeah, we were talking about some of the rarer edition Game Boys, like that Barbie one. I think that Game Boy Color that came out, I think it was Toys R Us exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. Not very effective, but it still poisoned them. And that's all that matters. Okay, so we're... Yeah, but Gary might have some full restores. So was that glow-in-the-dark Game Boy, was that a Game Boy Pocket or a Game Boy Light? Because, like, the real... I think the cool... If they made a glow-in-the-dark Game Boy Light, that would be so cool. Because the typical glow-in-the-dark color, especially back in the 90s, it would have matched very well with the sort of blue fluorescent screen on the Game Boy Light itself. Alright, we'll drop their defense. Oh, Stomp. Let's see how much... Okay, that was a bit of a... Oh yeah, there's a Tom... If I remember correctly, the Tommy Hilfiger was yellow, right? The Game Boy Color? Oh... We're playing with fire, but we've got our fire extinguisher on hand. Okay. Yeah, let's use a soda pop. This should probably, yeah, just nearly. Yeah, there were a lot of even more so than with the original. I don't remember the Game Boy Advance SP having many like licensed third-party brand tie-ins, but I remember the Game Boy Advance having a lot of special editions, but they were Nintendo-specific ones, like different Pokemon ones and the like. But I remember the Game Boy Color having a number of third-party ones, like the Tommy Hilfiger and Barbie. Yeah, it's not very effective, but look, we're still... Okay. Okay, we are, everyone, it's safe to look at the screen again. We are back in, Game Boy, non-Game Boy night mode. Yeah, and this was back when... Yeah, this was back when rival battles did not have unique music. Someone on YouTube, I don't have a link to it handy, you could probably find it easily by looking up. They made a version that could have been run on, they like ran it, they composed it as though it could have run on actual 8-bit Game Boy hardware of what Gary's battle theme would have sounded like if he actually had a unique battle theme based on his like overworld like sort of encounter music, dun 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 dun, you know, that whole theme. So yeah. Oh, so close to knocking him out, but there we go. Enemy right. Yeah, Reno got okay, let's see. How a Growlithe still. No Arcanine, huh? Oh yeah, there was the Singer sewing machine. There was a Game Boy a sewing machine that was powered by the Game Boy Color to choose different patterns and settings. And I remember that we found a magazine that covered that to some extent, but speed greatly rose. Alright, we poisoned them. Actually, now that we poisoned them, we might as well stay the course and finish the battle with Nidorino. Oh yeah, well, I know one like the Singer sewing machine that was Game Boy Color compatible. That was definitely licensed. The King James Bible for Game Boy Color by Wisdom Tree definitely was not. And that's actually like I remember in the 90s I actually saw a used copy of that. Of the King James Bible for Game Boy Color in a Funko Land, and it was, I mean, why would I buy that? And it wasn't before it was like a highly sought after collector's item. It was just a thing that was there, and I remember seeing like exposed circuitry on the cartridge. Okay, Horn Attack, Poison Sting, Horn Drill. Nah, we'll focus on damage dealing moves at this point. Yeah, I would have thought that you'd have some full restores or full heals or something. It looks like this... Yep, there he goes, And he's down. Ah! Gary's about to use Execute. No. I don't know about tell me about the Game Boy games that Sega made. I guess I know by Game Boy Advance era they'd went third party and they were free agents. I think the first Sega game on a Nintendo system was Choo Choo Rocket for Game Boy Advance. You know, I've never played Choo Choo Rocket before, and I'm shocked that Sega's they haven't even made a mobile version. That seems like an obvious one to oh, doggone. Alright. Well, let's see if we can... Oh, they're about to use... Uh-oh. Solar Beam! Okay. Yeah, it wasn't as bad as I was worried for. And I know... Because I know, like, in on the NES or Famicom, I think on the NES in like Europe, somehow there were officially licensed versions of Fantasy Zone, which was a Sega game. Fantasy Zone, a shooter with Lisa Frank syndrome. Space combat so cute you don't want to quit. Yeah. Yeah, from my Game Gear poem, which, you know, I remember that line in particular, but I don't have it all memorized to the point of being able to recite the whole thing from memory. I do have, and I know the Sakura Wars and the columns featuring. There was a column. Are you saying that there was a columns game tied over with tied in with Astro Boy, or am I misinterpreting that? Because I know there was a in Japan. No, in I guess in Japan. I believe there was like a Hello Kitty like virtual pet thing that used the physical shell of the Pokemon Pikachu, the little Game Boy like shell with the D-pad and the A and B. Oh, Osamu Tezuka. Yeah, I remembered his name. Osamu Tezuka. Osamu Tezuka. Yes, I remember. A old school Transformation fan and kind of arguably a forerunner to a lot of modern furry arts, especially in regards to metamorphosis and transformation. Like, he actually like spoke in detail about his fascination with like the themes or concepts or trope of humans becoming other creatures, and sort of animating or envisioning sort of the sort of transitioning process. But you know, I need to order I need to see if I can find some translated copies of his Phoenix manga that he never got to finish within his lifetime. It sounds like a very interesting project that he never got to finish that I'd love to I guess have, you know, a more full insight on as to what that sort of, where he was going at with that story. Alright. I'm sort of bored. How many times can I use Poison Sting against a grass type and somehow not actually poison them? Because I could tell you, if I could have actually landed in poison, they would be done by now. I would have defeated them by now. If this doesn't poison them... Okay, it'll be hilarious if... Watch it give him with 1 HP left. It'll leave Execute with 1 HP left, and they will somehow... Come on. A potion, how quaint. Yeah, the Leech Seed is actually... Okay, let's just end this. We'll use Horn Attack. Yeah, the Leech Seed has actually kept him around longer than he otherwise would have been. Alright. Oh, come on. Finally! Okay. Yeah, I don't know about the Cleopatra thing Osamu Tezuka did. About to use Alakazam. Will I change Pokemon? Yes, we'll... This looks like a job for Beedrill. And... we will use... Well, we'll start with Toxic. If we survive this, jeez. Of course it's one-hit KO. Yes, I was hoping he'd start off with just about anything else, but... yeah, they're all... Okay, let's... Gained armor. Our attack missed. Alakazam used Psybeam and... Oh, come on, again? What kind of... Does this... Yeah, there's... I feel like we're gonna need to... But it flashed, but it failed. Come on, live. Don't get knocked out. Come on. Ah. Well, all the same. Their HP's nearly half gone. And... Oh, come on. We're gonna have to do better than... We're gonna have to upgrade Ember with something more sometime soon. Okay, critical hit, nice. Why didn't I keep it as a Pikachu? Because I wanted it to be stronger, and I like Raichu more than Pikachu. Yeah, I mean, I like Pikachu, but I just like Raichu way more. Like, if I could choose to be a Pokemon, but I had a choice between Pikachu and Raichu, I would rather be a Raichu, and more than... I mean, it's not really relevant to this game, but I'd like to be a Alolan Raichu so I could surf on my tail. It would be cute. But, yeah, I like, Raichu. And the thing is, I don't even necessarily like Raichu's sprites in this game. Oh, of course, yeah, of course. Yeah, we're gonna need to... We're gonna revive Raichu. And I only evolved it into Raichu fairly recently, too, once he learned the final move I wanted him to have. Yeah, I like Raichu's, like, design more than I like the actual art of him. Alright. We are not... I wanted to have a chance to, hopefully... Oh, come on. What are these... Oh, wow. Well, good job, Raichu. You're getting extra Pokeblocks tonight. Not that Pokeblocks are a thing in this game, but... H defeated Gary. What? I was just careless. Got 3,445. That loosened me up. I'm ready for Pokemon League. H, you mean more practice, but hey, you know that? I'm out of here. Smell ya. Yeah, I love the increasingly aggressive theming, you know, battle music, or, you know, theme music he has. Now when okay, we're gonna have to go and heal up after that thrilling battle. Yeah, we could bring up... Yeah, no one else? Oh, the only other guy I have at level 42 is... There we go. Everyone else is already at level 43. Welcome to our Pokemon Center. We heal your Pokemon back to perfect health. Heal? Yes, we'll need your Pokemon. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Your Pokemon are fighting fit. We hope to see you again. And we'll save. Wow, right at the 50-hour mark, which I'm very sure does not include. Yeah, for 2 to 4 hours a stream with an average of about 3, 50 hours is quite the accomplishment. And that's including the fact that that's not even considering that a lot of my streams of this game did include contemporary magazine coverage, so... And uh-oh, looks like Clackaboy is redeemed. The new Sodor lore reading. What's new about it? I don't know. I just call it whatever. But it's time to get about a minute or so of more deep lore from the island of Sodor, the world of Thomas the Tank Engine and his friends. So we're reading about the Coldie Fell Railway, and about how in 1897 They got advice from the Snowdon Mountain Railway and used the rack and pinion system designed by the Swiss engineer Dr. Roman Abt. And construction proceeded smoothly, and the line was passed for passenger traffic in March 1900 by the inspector from the Board of Trade. After rigorous tests of both operational methods and safety precautions, it was opened to the public on Whit Monday, and for just over a month, all went well. Then, on a return journey, locomotive number 1, Godred, left the rails at Devil's Back and fell down a ravine. Okay. And fell down a ravine. Happily, the passengers kept calm and no one was injured. But the engine, when recovered next day, was found to be beyond repair. Rebuilding at this stage was financially out of the question, so Godred's remains were put at the back of the shed at Kirkmacon, where for the next few years they provided a useful collection of spare parts for repairing the others. All right? So, so we have a Thomas story where a locomotive falls off a mountain and is destroyed, and their spare parts are used to repair the other engines. This story, by the way, believe it or not, was never adapted for the television series. It was featured in the original Railway series books, however. Now, it was generally believed that a stone lodged between two teeth of the rack rail had caused the accident, but this has never been proved. The line was closed for the rest of the summer while stringent measures were taken to eliminate the possibility of accident in the future. Reopened on Easter Monday, 1901, the Cullifell Railway has operated ever since with an unblemished safety record. There have, of course, been minor mishaps, such as in mountain engines, page 38 through 41, but these are rare. Although they cause annoyance and inconvenience, they have never resulted in injury to any passenger. So yes, Kalaka Boy, redeeming our very first fatality in Sodor, Island of Sodor lore that we've read, but unfortunately, Mattel wouldn't touch that story with a 10-foot pole and adapt into the actual series. Now, got away safely. Alright, we gotta make our way. We'll save. This is where we got to. Alright. Yeah, Juan said it in chat. Yeah, pretty much. So, now, if we keep moving onward to the west... Okay, we made it through without any more encounters. Pokemon League front gate. Time to go. Look at this. This is the biggest building in the game so far, and rightfully so. I just realized there's not a single building in the game that's so wide that it takes up like the entire screen. And I just realized my hand, games. My hand should be blocking the game, but it's behind it instead. Yeah, one saying that they like the little blue engine. Do you mean Sir Handel in the TV shows or Thomas himself? Because if there are any other little blue engines in the newer episodes, I don't know much about them. Oh, that is the Boulder Badge. Go right ahead. You know, the dank blue engine people love to oh, okay. Dank blue engine. Yeah, Thomas has been highly memed on. I know he's been in TF2 memes and the like. You can pass through here only if you have the Cascade Badge. Oh, that is the Cascade Badge. Okay, then please go right ahead. Indigo Plateau, the ultimate goal of trainers, Pokemon League HQ. Yeah, they definitely build up the hype as you cross through. You can pass here only if you have the Thunder Badge. Oh, that is the Thunder Badge. Okay then, please go right ahead. Yeah, it certainly feels epic as you go through these multiple checkpoints. You can pass here only if you have the rainbow badge. Oh, that is the rainbow badge. Okay then, please go right ahead. Alright, time to surf. Yeah, I know. I saw some footage of someone modded Thomas into a dragon in Morrowind or something wacky like that. Or no, not Morrowind. Skyrim, that's it. Skyrim. I know, I see, I'm a cool gamer guy. I know these kinds of things. But, you can pass here only if you have the soul badge. Oh, that is the soul badge. Okay then, please go right ahead. You can pass here only if you have the marsh badge. Oh, that is the marsh badge. Okay then, please go right ahead. Alright. Oh, we actually have some grass where you can encounter wild Pokemon potentially. You can pass here only if you have the volcano badge. Oh, that is the volcano badge. Okay then, please go right ahead. So is there just like an actual character called Thomas in Final Fantasy 15 and people just like meme on him? Because I haven't played... The only numbered Final Fantasy game I've actually... The only numbered Final Fantasy games I've played are 6 and 7. Aside from that, I've played Final Fantasy Legends, which is actually the first game of the Saga series. You can pass here only if you have the Earth badge. Oh, that is the Earth badge. Okay then, please go right ahead. Victory Road Gate, Pokemon League. Oh, people modded Thomas the Tank Engine in. Because if there's a character called Thomas in Final Fantasy 15, I can imagine people modding in, like, Thomas the Tank Engine. Alright. Time to make our way through the cave. I think this is... Oh, come on! Level 24. Don't waste our time. Oh wow, he actually did decent damage on us. Oh yeah. Oh wow. He's like... We're almost like twice his level, and the lack of effectiveness is so severe that it actually barely damages him. Okay. Alright, this is gonna be a pain because of all the Pokemon encounters, unfortunately. But we're built for this. Yeah, this is back when Pikachu had the sort of chubby original design, and they've sort of acknowledged, you know, the old chubby Pikachu design as the Pikachu's Gigantamax form in Sword and Shield, where you have the giant Pokemon mechanic, Dynamax. I think there's Dynamax and Gigantamax. Okay. All right. Oh, and then there was a, you know, I never bothered collecting like the plushes and stuff in Pokemon Black and White. All right. Oh, they made a 30th anniversary Fat Pikachu plush. That wasn't covered in the Pokemon Direct, so I didn't really know about that. So let's use it's Charizard that knows String. Charizard can move boulders. Alright, there we go. Let me push up. Okay, so I guess by pushing onto the button, we can make that pillar thing go away. MLB for the wreck that came out. I heard people were fighting over in America and Japan. They gave you a ticket. What is MLB? The only MLB I know of is Major League Baseball. What did you mean by MLB in that context? Sorry, I'm just not familiar with what you meant by that. And I just want to make sure I'm actually understanding what you intended correctly. So we'll shove this one over and down. Alright. Hey, it's gone. Nice. We might as well save. We haven't saved since we walked in. But we will use a soda pop to top off B-drill here. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot there are actual trainers in here. Hey, a Golbat. You know, Golbat has little creepy eyes in this sprite, but I still think it's a cool sprite, but I don't like this. I like this sprite, but not as a sprite for Golbat. I like Golbat's later sprites, because, I don't know, like, going for that cute little face with no, but this one's actually... Yeah, this time they're actually reasonably closely leveled to us, to the point where they might be worth the EXP. I like monsters with big slobbery tongues, but I don't know, there's those little... You know what those eyes remind me of? Of the red guy, who is the recurring antagonist from Cow and Chicken. That's what those little eyes remind me of. Yeah. Okay, let's actually swap to literally anyone else. Yeah, I like the tongue, but not in this design. And yeah, Golbat, in the anime, you actually do get to see Golbat with his mouth shut, and it looks really goofy because you're used to seeing it with his mouth open. Yeah, you know, I have not watched... I'll tell you right now, I have not watched Doggone. Charizard, he had one job. He has like 2 hit points left. Take him out. Come on. No! Okay. Yeah, I have not watched Cow and Chicken since it was on reruns on regular Cartoon Network, like back during its... I guess during its original run. In like the late 90s, early 2000s. Ugh. Oh, come on. No! Are you really gonna knock yourself... There's no way. You suck, Charizard. You got knocked out by a wild Golbat. Come on, you should feel ashamed of yourself. Fine, we'll let Beedrill get the free EXP. Well, it's funny because like Togepi is like Togepi was first playable in Generation 2. But it was one of the first Pokemon past the original 151 to be formally introduced and acknowledged. Like about halfway, or even up to like, not even maybe 30% through this sort of original Indigo League Kanto arc of the Pokemon anime that corresponded to the storyline of Pokemon Red, Green, Blue, and Yellow here. You saw... the introduction of Togepi as like, wow, that's a new species of Pokemon, but then they very quickly figured out that trying to say that, oh, a new Pokemon no one's ever seen before, it's not going to hold up well in terms of the world building. So they just sort of said, oh, different parts of the world, different Pokemon live, and, you know, that's just how it is. But we'll revive Charizard. I forgot, oh yeah, in Hey You Pikachu you can get a Togepi. I never played Hey You Pikachu. I rented it once. I was more of a Pokemon Snap kid back in the day. In fact, I still have my Pokemon Snap sticker kiosk prepaid card from Blockbuster Video handle that promotion in the US. We'll do... So... Beedrill recovered by 56. Okay. Saved the game. Okay. Hey, it's a Wild Onix at level 39. Yeah, we're getting immediately away from that. We will be absolutely destroyed. I wonder if you are good enough for me. Well, now I mean, within the context of the game world, we are now going to be fighting trainers who are supposed to have collected all 8 badges, so... Cool trainer sent out Persian. Okay. Let's use Toxic. Badly poison. Not just poison, but badly poison. Yeah, not the highest defense, but... Yeah, payday! So we'll get a little bonus money at the end of the... yeah, let's use a lemonade. Mecha Kong is saying they like the fan theory that gym leaders have different Pokemon they use depending on the skill level of the people entering their gym, since it doesn't make sense otherwise. That is a great theory. It was fan speculation for years, and then Pokemon Origins, the Pokemon Origins sort of anime miniseries confirmed it. And it was such an obvious great idea that for some odd reason, when they had decided to make a mainline Pokemon game where you could challenge the gyms in any order, they didn't actually employ that into the gameplay because that would seem too much like a good idea, and that's not something Game Freak is allowed to do, apparently. It seemed too much like a smart thing to do, so it immediately got shut down. Oh, can't we just, like, yeah, why do something smart like that in the actual games that we've shown in other aspects of the franchise to be a thing? Yeah, why? You don't need to. Oh yeah, I don't know. Have you ever seen Pokemon Origins, Mecha Kong? Like, yeah, that's actually a thing that they explicitly show and explain taking place. And Pokemon Origins, effectively, it's a miniseries that basically is an opportunity to show all the things from the games that for some reason, all the things from Gen 1 Pokemon that for some reason there was not even the slightest attempt to explore within the actual Pokemon anime that obviously would have made for great episodes. Like, there's so much random character of the day filler crap that they had the material in the games to make great episodes, like the whole Silphco raid. Like, they created, like, a Team Rocket attack on board the St. Anne that never even happened in the game, but then the Team Rocket attacks in like, the Silphco building in Saffron City, they completely, like, they make a vague allusion to it with the warp tile that Jesse and James push Ash onto when he goes into a certain building that they don't even say is the Silphco building, and then they just otherwise don't even attempt to acknowledge it. It is so weird. Oh yeah, I failed the rant about Game Freak challenge. I failed. Yeah, unfortunately we had to knock out the pretty fox. But we defeated Cool Trainer female. I lost out. Got 1,550. We picked up an extra 176 of the Persian scattered everywhere. I never wanted to lose to anybody. Yeah, it's kind of funny how when all these random trainers lose, they're like, ah, shucks. But then, like, when your character loses, they, like, flip their lid and black out and wake up in a Pokemon Center. Alright, we have 3 minutes left before we... Okay, with 3 minutes remaining before I'm gonna do the Nintendo, the autistic self-advocacy video that I have that I made. I'm not going to, no, Collectible is in chat saying the new Sword Art lore I read would be great for a spooky Halloween night to think of Thomas and friends leaving out spare parts from a deceased friend. Yeah, well, it wouldn't have been Thomas and friends. It would have been, Caldy and Ernest and Shane Dewey and the other engines on the Caldy Fell Railway, which is a railway that was never featured in... Oh, so, Calacaboy, and any regulars to my stream, do you remember the video of the Snowdon Mountain Railway. It's a late 1980s video with lots of synthy, new age music and a Welsh narrator explaining the history of the railroad and how it works. That railroad is what the Culty Fell Railway was inspired by in the books. But yeah, so in a couple of minutes, I'm going to... Oh, doggone, they're going to be incessant with this, aren't they? In a couple of minutes, I'm going to do the premiere of my new autism video. I will be present in chat. I may pause the video. Actually, let me run an ad right now, so it won't interrupt the video. So anyone who is not subscribed to me will not be interrupted. I'll see you in about 30 seconds. Yeah, so if you remember that video, Kalaka Boy, that is, that railway is specifically what the railway where that engine, like, died and his spare parts were used to fix the other engines. That was the railway that would have happened on. Alright. Yeah, so the video is about 30 minutes. Yay, level 43. Nice. I was not necessarily expecting that. And we have not changed maps. Alright. Oh, doggone. Jeez. Zoob at level 22. Alright, let's get on out of here. Yeah, so it's a half hour, and then we'll play more Pokemon at the end of this. And make you choose... Oh, rare candy, huh? Well, we will use that on... We'll use that... There's no reason to hold back on using that. We'll use it on... Oh, we'll use it on Nidorino. Get him to level 44. Nice, okay. So if we save right here, when we come back, we'll have the opportunity to push the block in the other direction and get the other item. Yeah, because it forces you to block off one or the other of the two items. So... Alright, so for context, so this will be a video that I made about a doctor on YouTube who made it, they did actually, while I'm thinking about it, why don't I change... Furry autistic self-advocacy. We'll change the to we'll change it to just chatting. Yeah, there we go. Just there's a video. There's just chatting, and I just realized this. There's another one called Just Catting that currently has 83 viewers. All right, I just noticed that. Okay, we'll switch to just chatting. And, so when I switch over to this, it's going to... Okay. Now we need to go into info and links, and... For Dr. Spear to go to TikTok... Hold on, seeking examples of autism misinformation. And somehow... Okay. So, I'm going to run this. This will be about a half hour, and then we'll do more gameplay. As we actually, when I come back, why don't we do some Pokemon? No, some Pokemon Pinball while we discuss it. I will be active in chat to answer any questions or respond to any comments. But we're gonna start this. Let me full screen this. There we go. And so if you've never seen me do any autistic self-advocacy before, now this video, I'm not going to present the link to it yet. It's not public yet. I'm just doing a preview of it here. So thank you for sticking with me, and enjoy the video, and we'll be active in chat. For Dr. Spear to go to TikTok, seeking examples of autism misinformation, and somehow deciding that this innocent autistic woman who was accurately describing the use of therapeutic equipment was an appropriate specimen of such concerns. Given the frequent nature of autism discourse on TikTok, It's like a treasure hunter having the keys to Fort Knox and somehow making off with nothing but a handful of pennies while boasting to the world that they found gold. It certainly is impressive, but not in a way that makes said treasure hunter look competent or knowledgeable. Dr. Hannah Spear of the YouTube podcast Psychobabble has senselessly defamed the TikTok user Sound of the Forest by ridiculing her over innocent footage she posted of herself using a sensory swing while accurately explaining its construction and use. Dr. Spear maliciously misrepresented this clinically diagnosed autistic person's sensory swing as the narcissistic personal invention of a so-called Cluster B girl who allegedly built it to further an insincere fantasy of being autistic, an act that Dr. Spear claims was the result of this person having been denied affection by her parents during childhood. Dr. Spear directly connected this unfounded theory of hers with the idea that so-called new autism treatments like the sensory swing were catering to the fantasies of people with narcissism and other personality disorders who were wrongfully demanding that society accommodate their poor behavior.
So these new treatments of autism, it is their fantasy made real. Just look at this girl. She's having a cocoon made while she is imitating Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter.
So this is my sensory swing.
Even the most cursory research into this matter makes obvious that equipment such as sensory swings has been written about extensively in professional-grade medical literature since the 1970s and has been deployed in clinically administered occupational therapy for over 50 years, in addition to providing in-home comfort. While Dr. Spear mocked and smeared this equipment as an example of recent leftist meddling to the autism definition to enable disability impersonating narcissistic women to be coddled under the guise of autism therapy, the reality is that for multiple generations, these tools have not only brought joy and support to people with autism and other disabilities, but have opened doors for people with natural disadvantages and unusual sensory requirements to enhance their capabilities and cope with a world they desperately seek inclusion in, but often find themselves alienated from. If Dr. Spear has sincere and well-considered concerns with the sensory integration techniques pioneered by Dr. A. Jean Ayres over 50 years ago, and wants to avoid criticisms and concepts of autism care and treatment in which sensory swings are used, then Dr. Spear certainly failed to express those concerns in that clip of hers, which was featured as the conclusion to a video titled "How Autism Was Hijacked by Narcissists." I can't speak for how Dr. Spear may have presented and discussed Sound of the Forest TikTok footage in her subscriber-exclusive full-length video, but in its freely presented form intended to promote paid memberships to her YouTube channel, Dr. Spear's priority with this out-of-context clip was not to inform the public or to critically examine concepts of autism treatment. Dr. Spear's goal here was instead to entertain her audience and entice potential customers by targeting a clinically diagnosed autism spectrum disorder patient to be ridiculed and gawked at, to question that person's character and trustworthiness, and to misrepresent the sensory swing she enjoys in her own home for comfort as somehow being the absurd narcissistic invention of a disability impersonator obsessed with returning to the womb to compensate for affection she was allegedly denied by her parents.
And here's another example of how cluster B girls are claiming the autism diagnosis and using these sort of therapies to get what they have always fantasized about, because cluster B girls are always pining for the care and attention that they didn't get from their parents. So these new treatments of autism, it is their fantasy made real. Just look at this girl. She's having a cocoon made while she is imitating Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter.
Sensory swings can be used to apply deep pressure, which can be very calming for autistic people. Sensory swings are used in all types of therapies and aren't just for autistic people.
Dr. Spear, by implication at the very least, attacked this person as a performatively eccentric, non-autistic narcissist who was pawning off flawed personal theories of hers as autism education. In reality, the professionally diagnosed autistic person Dr. Spear targeted not only consistently uses her online platform to explicitly reject the actual misinformation that autism is a so-called superpower, but she has also been discussing how her autism has been limiting and disabling, including serialized life-threatening incidents that required hospitalization. This couldn't possibly be further from Dr. Spear's allegations of this woman selling autism as an impairment-free, quirky fantasy while imitating a Harry Potter character, with that last detail being nothing but a petty insult based on her superficial resemblance to a fictional person who isn't even said to be, in the books, to be autistic. For Dr. Spear to go to TikTok seeking examples of autism misinformation and somehow deciding that this innocent autistic woman, who was accurately describing the use of therapeutic equipment, was an appropriate specimen of such concerns. Given the frequent nature of autism discourse on TikTok, it's like a treasure hunter having the keys to Fort Knox and somehow making off with nothing but a handful of pennies while boasting to the world that they found gold. It certainly is impressive, but not in a way that makes said treasure hunter look competent or knowledgeable. And for Spear to present herself to the public as a healthcare practitioner and subject matter expert on disability and mental health, only to use that position of perceived authority to publicly attack the character of the patients of other doctors, patients who Dr. Spear has never met or worked with, and then concoct elaborate and scathing, unfounded assessments of their personal biographical history and implications against their parents of being neglectful, all because Dr. Spear is unhappy with the diagnoses that these people were given by their own actual doctors. It's not only immensely unprofessional behavior, but it's especially weird when Spear presents herself as the reserved and rational voice of common sense. Far from that, Spear is instead acting as though she were the heroic main character of mental health care, with the self-anointed superpower to confiscate the diagnoses issued to the patients of other doctors, and the additional superpower to reassess and re-diagnose those patients who she's never met, and to do that based on social media clips which she has personally cherry-picked and deceptively presented to validate her predetermined conclusion that these clinically diagnosed autistic people were actually scheming narcissists abusing the autism designation to be rewarded for their bad behavior. Given Spear's provable habit of misrepresenting clinical definitions of disability, to strip people she dislikes of any sense of impairment or deservingness for understanding, and then fabricating the personal histories of strangers that she has marked as ideological enemies of common sense and traditional values, merely due to their having been diagnosed by their own doctors with disorders Dr. Spear, a stranger, doesn't approve of them having. Well, considering all that, I certainly would hope that those watching Dr. Spear's videos would think twice before trusting anything she says without checking against outside sources. And for those unfamiliar with these issues, or who may have trusted Dr. Spear, who weren't aware of this, even disability experts and professional-grade medical literature, including textbooks from multiple decades ago, and with zero connections to disability activism or to the online neurodiversity movement, directly contradict many of Dr. Spear's generalized claims and accusations against people that she hasn't blessed with her personal permission to be part of the disability community. Based on her freely published video material, I have the impression that Dr. Spear's personal opinion is that only non-speaking autistics who will require 24/7 lifelong care and who are unable to attempt careers are legitimate in receiving an autism diagnosis and any associated disability services and societal consideration as people deserving of patience or accommodation. If that does turn out to be what Dr. Spear actually believes, it's nothing more than her personal opinion, not proof that invalidates clinical descriptions of disability dating back not just multiple decades, but entire generations. And in fact, that theoretical definition of so-called true autism, as Spear called it in her video, would not only invalidate the profiles of autistic people that Leo Kanner worked with, but people who Leo Kanner worked with who did speak and who did pursue careers later in life. And if you don't know who Leo Kanner is, he established the modern concept of autism back in the 20th century, though Dr. Spear invokes his name as though to crown herself with the authority to decree that people diagnosed after Kanner's time, who don't outwardly resemble 1950s black and white stock footage of autistic hospital patients, therefore can't possibly be legitimately disabled in a way worthy of clinical attention or recognition as part of the autism spectrum.
As you see here, when Leo Kanner introduced the term infantile autism in 1943, he wasn't talking about socially awkward, misunderstood introverts. He was describing kids with profound impairments.
Spear vilifies the contemporary diagnostic eligibility of autistic people she seemingly thinks of as too successful or too normal, as what she calls a long march of diagnostic expansion.
For decades, that's what autism meant. Rare, severe, and unmistakable. Then came psychiatry's long march of diagnostic expansion.
Dr. Spear's expertly selected Red Scare dog whistle phrasing insinuates the formal recognition of what some may call high-functioning autism to be a newfangled leftist political opinion rather than a long-established apolitical consensus of legitimate medical science. And I would love to see her attempt to be more explicitly biased against entire categories of disabled people than to malign them as ideological and political enemies by mere virtue of their being clinically recognized as deserving of help.
Oh, you communists, you're so cruel!
The bias displayed by Dr. Spear against so-called high-functioning autistic people is so transparent that she opens her video by contrasting archival footage of autistic children that was filmed in hospitals with screenshots of Sheldon Cooper from Big Bang Theory, a comedy television character who isn't even said to be autistic on the actual show, a character who many autistic neurodiversity proponent self-advocates reject, specifically due to its perpetuation of the myth of autism as a funny genius superpower absent of clinically significant impairment.
How have we gone from diagnosing children with severe life-limiting impairments to diagnosing adult women who watched Sheldon and saw themselves in him?
This myth is opposed by a great many autistic self-advocates on the basis that it threatens access to services, accommodation, and societal understanding that disabled people of all support needs levels depend upon to struggle towards reaching and maintaining their full potential and being safe from judgment and stigma while doing so. So to intentionally repeat myself, by targeting Sound of the Forest TikTok channel and the way that she has with these accusations and criticisms, which are misdirected, baseless, or both, Dr. Spear blames these autism trivializing stereotypes on a clinically diagnosed autism spectrum disorder diagnosed person who has explicitly spoken out multiple times against the autistic superpower narrative, to the point where she's even rejected such comments that are offered to her by her viewers as personal compliments. Dr. Spear comparing educational hospital footage of patients with screenshots of a laughingstock nerd sitcom character who isn't even claimed to be disabled, and using that as the basis to discredit real-life disabled strangers who Dr. Spear, without having met or worked with them, thinks aren't suffering enough or impaired enough to be legitimately disabled. It personally doesn't strike me as the logic of an expert who deserves to be taken seriously. There may be significant imperfections with the DSM-5's diagnostic nomenclature and organization of neurodevelopmental disabilities overall, and there are certainly opportunities to improve the concepts of healthcare and other services disabled people depend upon. But attacking and ridiculing end-level patients is not the path to change, especially not from someone who hopes to get paid to present her hollow personal theories as credible and trustworthy healthcare information, all while marking people who are accurately describing sensory therapy tools and techniques as narcissistic enemies of those with so-called true impairments. And make no mistake, I'm not challenging Dr. Spear simply because she's questioning the DSM-5 or challenging social media talking points that trivialize disability or spread autism misinformation. Because if Spear was properly doing that, I wouldn't be filming right now. In that spirit, I'll provide a link to Cindy Wall's video presentation hosted by the National Council on Severe Autism, which confronts online activity by certain autism advocates, as well as corrects certain online autism misinformation. Cindy's presentation contains none of the conceptual or factual mistakes I've addressed today in Dr. Spear's video on the same subjects, and I would go so far as to recommend it as a positive example on how to address these issues without targeting end-level ASD patients for ridicule in the way that Dr. Spear did in her video. And before anyone makes the mistake of accusing me of recommending Cindy Wall or mentioning the NCSA because I'm fans of theirs or because they're neurodiversity proponents or supporters of the DSM-5's autism definitions, you need to be aware that not only is Cindy Wall openly critical of the DSM-5's description of the neurodevelopmental disabilities range that includes autism, but she's someone that I've had extreme disagreements with in terms of some of her opinions on autism, and I've made over 24 hours of videos extensively criticizing the National Council on Severe Autism that hosted Cindy's webinar, a webinar which I'm now recommending as a positive example on how to challenge online autism misinformation without smearing entire clinically recognized subcategories of autistic people as a villainous cabal of narcissistic disability impersonators. For more detailed criticisms of mine regarding Dr. Spear and other opponents of respect towards disabled people, please check out my channel for my other videos, or you could just watch me play and talk about video games or enjoy my poetry. I'll see you all next time, and thanks for watching. Hi everybody, I thought I was finished with this video. In fact, all the filming and editing was complete 90% of the way to being ready to upload, and then I found something so incredible that I had to comment on it. And I want to clarify that no matter how little I like Dr. Hannah Spear, I really felt it was a matter of responsibility that I propose the possibility that she may have well-informed, carefully considered criticisms of sensory integration theory as was developed and initially proposed by Dr. Jean Ayres more than 50 years ago, but that to sell those subscriptions to her channel, those paid subscriptions, she, threw Sound of the Forest on TikTok under the bus and presented this sort of mockery of, oh, look at this ridiculous person as a way to, entice paid memberships to her channel. That would be incredibly cowardly and reprehensible. But I had to leave open the possibility that she may have actual well-considered criticisms of sensory integration theory, and having a principled position of acceptance for free inquiry, whether I agree with anything in particular or not. I felt I had to present that to my potential tiny little minuscule audience here on YouTube. But then for some reason I decided to scroll down to the bottom of the comments for her video, and I found this comment from one of Dr. Spear's viewers saying, "A sensory swing? Ha ha ha, honestly." So someone who watched this never heard of sensory swings until seeing how Dr. Spear presented Sound of the Forest's explanation of them. So this is someone who, thanks to Dr. Spear's video, now thinks that sensory swings are this ridiculous revisionist thing that this TikToker came up with to get attention and to narcissistically roleplay as having a disability. That would be interesting enough. But then Dr. Spear herself replied to the comment, saying that she was shocked. She couldn't believe it. And I was just blown away by this. So either Dr. Spear is knowing that her presentation of Sound of the Forest clip was explicitly misleading at best, if not an outright defamatory lie. Or Dr. Spear sincerely never heard of therapy equipment such as sensory swings, never learned about sensory integration theory and its use in professionally administered occupational therapy for people with autism and other disabilities, and the use of similar equipment for at-home enjoyment and comfort by disabled people. Which would mean that if that's true, it would mean that Dr. Spear actually saw Sound of the Forest's TikTok as her first exposure to sensory integration theory, which Dr. Spear presents as this revisionist liberal distortion of autism care and treatment that came out of nowhere, when this is something that has been established for more than 50 years. And it's really incredible, the idea that Dr. Spear would present herself as not only as an expert on these issues, but one with enhanced understanding of these things, to the point where she wants people to listen to her over other experts and professionals on disability care and treatment. And it would be like if I was watching a video by a doctorate level mathematician who found some random person's video who wrote out a math equation and said, haha, look at that idiot. Not only did they draw their plus sign crooked in their equation, they think that 5 plus 3 is 15, without understanding that they're not performing addition, they're performing multiplication. And this person never heard of multiplication before, in spite of being a doctorate level mathematics expert, supposedly. And if Dr. Spear did have detailed criticisms of sensory integration theory, and she wanted to do a GoFundMe so that she could raise money to do a scholarly clinical study on the effectiveness of sensory integration theory, I would be all for that, because I'm not against inquiry that challenges established concepts of healthcare and understanding of human brain functionality that could potentially help people like me and people like many of my classmates and friends who actually were in professionally administered therapy that employed these concepts. If something could come about that would provide better help, better stacking of the odds in the favor of disabled people to have the most independent functionality and potential for self-reliance possible, I would be all for that. But that's not what Dr. Spear's doing here. Best case scenario. I mean, I don't know. There is no best case scenario. Any explanation for this looks bad. Either Dr. Spear deliberately and knowingly lied about Sound of the Forest's explanation of sensory swings to make her look bad, in order to make her, Dr. Spear herself, look like this superior voice of reason, laughing at these ridiculous, narcissistic, antisocial, evil people that are lying about disability and autism in order to feign and impersonate disabilities. Or she literally did not know about a major aspect of autism care and treatment while making a video criticizing established notions of autism care and treatment. Like, I don't even care if Dr. Spear thinks that sensory integration theory, as pioneered over 50 years ago, isn't effective. That's fine. That's her opinion to have, especially if she could back it up with proposals for improved forms of therapy or proposals for a scholarly study to be done. Like, that would be fine. But she's misrepresenting concepts of autism care and treatment in order to ridicule clinically diagnosed N-level patients. And I don't know how anyone's supposed to be able to trust this person. And given the nature in which Dr. Spear sells herself and explains herself, and given the motivations of a lot of her viewers, seemingly, who are supportive of her, it seems like she would defend this by making it an issue of liberals versus conservatives, or common sense versus ridiculous revisionist nonsense.
Welcome back to Psychobabble, where we expose bad therapy and the liberal narratives that contribute to our poor mental health. I'm Hannah Spear. Please like and subscribe.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
As you see here, when Leo Kanner introduced the term infantile autism in 1943, he wasn't talking about socially awkward, misunderstood introverts.
But Dr. Spear is evoking mid 20th century inquiry into autism to reinforce her own ideas that, I have the real ideas, the real concepts of autism care and treatment and understanding of human brain functionality in relation to disability. It's these new revisionist things, this insurgent liberal nonsense like this sensory swing that's ruining disability care and treatment.
So these new treatments of autism, it is their fantasy made real. Just look at this girl. She's having a cocoon made while she is imitating Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter.
So this is my sensory swing.
Completely leaving out or being completely ignorant of the fact that these concepts of autism care and treatment date back over 50 years. So once again, Dr. Spear, if you're watching this, you need to watch No, she's not a doctor. You need to watch Cindy Wall's video about confronting online autism misinformation from the National Council on Severe Autism. Because I have significant disagreements with a number of things that Cindy Wall has said. I've made over 24 hours of elaborate, detailed criticisms of the National Council on Severe Autism. Yet, her webinar by someone I frequently disagree with on autism, that was hosted by an organization which I've made over 24 hours of critical videos against, has none of the problems that you've managed to work into your video. So it's not a matter of me being mad because you're critical of the DSM-5 construction of the neurodevelopmental disabilities range. It's not a matter of me being pissed because you're confronting online autism misinformation. I'm confronting you because you've taken actual accurate information about autism and fundamentally misrepresented it and defamed people in order to make yourself look like an expert. So to wrap this up, Dr. Spear, this is not a matter of you being critical of online autism misinformation. It's not a matter of you being critical of the DSM-5's construction of the neurodevelopmental disabilities range. It's not a matter of you being critical of aspects of the neurodiversity paradigm or of certain aspects of online activism and advocacy relating to autism. The issue is that you, at best, have been proven to say things about autism and other disabilities that are concretely untrue, with your incomplete explanation of the clinical definition of autism being just a surface level example of that, let alone your either fundamental lack of understanding of sensory integration theory, or your willingness to lie about it to make people look bad, and to make actual clinically administered methods of autism care and treatment that have been in use for over 50 years look like the ridiculous personal fantasies of random TikTokers. So, and now these words are not my own, but I want to quote a quote that I think is very relevant to this situation. And is to let you know that I exist and that I'm sort of a threat to your terrible ideas. And anytime you go to publish them again without proper referencing, you just know that I exist, I'm in the world, and that if you're going to publish something that's absolute rubbish, I'm going to call you out on it and embarrass you publicly. I'm not going to attack you personally, but I'm going to attack your ideas and show that you don't know what you're talking about. Now, those words are not mine. Those are the words of James Nuzzo. And if you think that me saying that sounds unhinged or unreasonable, you need to think twice about letting your guests say things like that on your show in relation to ideas you personally don't like. So, I think that's enough. I'm sick of talking about this. Thank you for watching. Hey. Oh, wait. Actually, there's still a few more seconds. Hopefully we can get back to it in time.
Proper referencing. You just know that I exist. I'm in the world, and if you're going to publish something that's absolute rubbish, I'm going to write in a letter to the editor and embarrass you publicly. I'm not going to attack you personally, but I'm going to attack your ideas and show that you don't know what you're talking about.
I don't care about your hollow theories.
Hey, I'm back. Alright. Time for some tonal whiplash as we go back to playing Pokemon. Let's change, Victory Road. Let's change to, let's change back to retro. There we go. And we'll put in for, let's put in for 70 minutes. And get started again. Alright, so we're back. Hi everybody, thanks for watching. I could see that it didn't do numbers for my active viewers, but that's to be expected. I mean, if I didn't do the things that I do, I mean, there's a reason I have, like, fewer than a dozen average viewers after, like, 5 years on, actually 6 now, I guess. Yeah, 6 in May, years on Twitch. But if I was doing things that actually made me potentially successful, I wouldn't be enjoying Twitch, so, can't have it all. Wow, so after saving and coming back, the boulder's still pushed in the other direction. I wouldn't have expected that. Alright. Yeah, I thought they'd restart after, uh-oh. Let's see what this guy... Oh, thanks, Mechacon. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I was a little concerned, yeah. So that's the second video, actually the second and third, because the entire part, like, the entire webcam section I recorded after the fact. Oh my goodness! Hey everybody, how you doing? It's me. You just got spared watching a 30-minute autism advocacy video I pre-recorded, but we are back to playing Pokemon again, and we are on the way to Victory Road. Neosura was just playing Commander Keen, Attack of the Vorticons Episode 3, Keen Must Die. Yeah, pretty ominous name, but we could reason that it turns out well for Commander Keen in the end. So, Neosura, did you complete the game? We don't have many people. Neosura's been doing a lot of fantastic pre-Windows PC coverage. It's a section of gaming history you don't see covered a lot on Twitch in my experience. I know when I streamed Commander Keen, I had people coming in. Like, I had like maybe 5 average viewers. I had people coming in that were just amazed that, wow, it's someone who's actually playing Commander Keen, because I was streaming it in category. So did you beat the game, Neosura? I'd love to know, because that missile silo level you were on when I was last in your chat, that is a huge level. I think one of the biggest levels in the entire trilogy of games. And it is not at all necessary to beat the game, but it's quite a feather in your cap if you do. And thank you, new follower. Yeah, my follow alerts are anonymous. So if you want to follow, but you don't want to be called out in chat and have attention drawn to you, this is potentially the stream for you. But we will celebrate another addition to our community, whether you are active in chat or standing guard in our silent squad. Yeah, I've been on this Pokemon playthrough since, late 2024. Hey there, Void Sender, new follower, revealing their identity to us. So one thing I do that I could show off here is that I actually will involve period publications and player's guides. Like here, I've got handy the official Nintendo Powers Player's Guide. And one thing what I love to do is actually have period magazines as well. So, in the case for Pokemon, I'd have to drag these open. So, for Pokemon, I haven't been doing it as much lately because I've been focusing more on the gameplay itself. But, like, for Pokemon here, I've got the official Nintendo Power Player's Guide with this beautiful watercolor artwork by Ken Sugimori. But then when you get into, let's see, if we get into, like, Nintendo Power, like, we were reading Nintendo Powers from the first mention of Pokemon in Nintendo Power. Like, here, we're in this Nintendo Power from May of 1995 or 1996, and here we have a lot of coverage of, we're sort of in the tail end of the 16-bit era. We have coverage of Super Mario RPG here. You have the fold-out poster here, some punch-out player's guides, and look at this here. So, Pocket Monsters. This Super Game Boy RPG title, or titles, appeared recently in Japan from Nintendo. For the first time ever, Nintendo published a game in 2 versions simultaneously. In order to distinguish between the 2 versions, one was packaged in red and the other in green. According to Japanese trivia experts, the green package is outselling the red. Each version contains a different set of monsters, which players use to attack enemies. During the course of play, chosen monsters gain strength, just like characters in regular RPG. You have many monsters to choose from, but most players tend to stick to a couple of favorites since it takes much time to build up extra monsters. But the coolest part is the game is the trading option. When 2 Pocket Monster players use the game link to hook up their Game Boys, they can transfer monster data from one game to the other. Whether it's red or green, you can boost your strength by leaps and bounds by importing the best monsters from both versions into your current game. Some players are so enamored of Pocket Monsters, they have purchased both versions in order to own all the monsters. With both games, they can play up the best monsters and transfer them all to their current game. So this here is the modest little mention, the first mention in official Nintendo sanctioned media of Pocket Monsters, before they even were using the Pokemon moniker. And so let's get back to our game here. And here we are playing the actual game. So I like to have those links between the history of the games I play and the actual games themselves. And Collector Boy saying it always surprises me when I let out those F-bombs in my videos. Yeah, it does not happen often. I tend to make videos that I would have let my younger self watch, but my stream is still not for kids, and sometimes I let that harsh language slip through, especially when I'm talking about disability doctors that are pretending to be allies of those with so-called true disabilities, but are actually bigots that are spreading explicit misinformation. So let's, just to show how ineffective. I thought they were going to use an yeah, we're using a Charizard against a Wartortle. I should have really focused on some more of my non-fire-based attacks, since Wartortle will naturally have, as a water Pokemon, will have a resistance to those. Oh yeah, so Clackaboy, did you enjoy the video too then, I'm guessing? Because I know it was pretty quiet in chat, but I know a lot of people do other things like laundry or dishes or eating or working on other projects. Now here we have Fire versus Fire. We'll switch out to Gyarados and use some water attacks. I know one thing that I was very happy to be able to have some coverage of. So near Sura, they may have had to leave if she's busy at the end of the stream, but I know I'd love to talk to her about a game called Helios that I played on DOS back in the 90s, traded to me on a floppy disk. Was basically one of the first creepypasta games that came included on the floppy disk with a text file explaining that the game was left on someone's PC during a close encounter where aliens visited their home. Yeah, I didn't even use my water-type attacks, I just scratched them to death. And, wow, Charizard's at level 43 now. 639 experience points. Yeah, so we were reading lots of Nintendo Power, Game Pro, Electronic Gaming Monthly, lots of magazines from the time period at which Pokemon was first coming out in Japan, and a lot of videos from when it was first coming out in North America, and they were sort of seeding the market with, like, oh, this hot new game's coming from Japan, this new creature trading and taming RPG called Pokemon. Let's send out Nidorino. And of course, I'm going to, yeah, they have they have lots of starters. This is the first person we've encountered who has so many starters in their team. But we'll severely poison them with Toxic, hopefully. Oh no, that's they don't have Toxic. That Toxic is in the hands of. Yeah, I have not played. I played through the Commander Keen trilogy in about 2021. And for those, I do actually, I haven't always been a VTuber. I do some content, live on camera sometimes, and you just saw some of that. I actually, half of my last video, the video I revealed, that I just premiered, my autistic self-advocacy video, about half of it was done with my VTuber model right here, and the other half was done with me just in front of a webcam. So, I do have, for those, I'll, post a link to about 90% of my VODs. Oh, okay, so you played Helios. You played it. Yeah, I got to, so Neosura, did you play Helios? Did you play it with, already knowing sort of the creepypasta lore surrounding it? Because I got to, for a period of time, like, there was, like, when Helios kind of re-entered the consciousness of the internet, I was basically the only, because I made a webpage about it in about 2009 or so on my website, and because of me making that webpage, I was suddenly the only source that this game was real and did exist prior to the sort of YouTube videos starting to come out about it. Okay, so yeah, when Ross's Game Dungeon made that video about Helios, that kind of reinvigorated, that sort of put that game back in the spotlight of the retro gaming community and of the creepypasta community. And suddenly my webpage from 2009 was the only, like, established source that was proof that this game wasn't something that was created sort of retroactively, like a DOS game that was programmed in modern times to sort of create creepypasta lore. Yeah, well, and the lore for my stream, Human H, just, me in front of a webcam, is a separate character from Lunarian H here, just like actual, me, my VTuber model. They're actually simultaneously existing separate characters, and there's lore involving other characters who contact Human H and Lunarian H via phone calls. And you can see some of that on my VODs playlist on YouTube. I had a chance. I had a chance. It's funny seeing them. Yep, and so there's also Griffin H, who is a, half lion, half eagle bird monster version of H. And there's Lunarian H here, the sort of floppy-eared dog moon alien version of me, and then there's just Human H. And there are multiple Human H's as well. There's Human H of Redemption Center 1, there's also Human H of Redemption Center 3, who is canonically deceased. A meteor struck his planet, which I got to depict live on stream, which was hilarious. Yeah, I had my VTuber reveal, I didn't clue anyone into the fact that I had this model created. So after like 4 years of being a cam-only tuber, I surprised everyone with my VTuber reveal, and it was like the storyline where an evil AI depicted via text-to-speech, a text-to-speech character called into the was routinely calling into my stream and interrupting the stream and disrupting things and putting me through all kinds of silly nonsense, just being an antagonist. I'm being out of character right now, by the way, obviously. And eventually it culminated in the advanced controller, the evil AI construct. I keep forgetting, it's not like Pokemon Gen 2 onward where you can heal Pokemon directly from the items through the stat screen. You actually have to manually go in to the stats separately. And this should... Yeah, but I have Pokemon up to level 43, but... Yeah, they're all level 43, so we'll let Beedrill get a little more experience for now and save. Yeah, I'll have to find... I don't have my lore playlist. Oh, actually, no. What is it? Okay, here's my lore playlist. There we go. So if anyone wants to see the lore of so the cool thing is that I never saw anyone else really do this outside of like VTuber reveal streams specifically, where the actual storyline progression would take place during the gameplay streams. So I would, like, for example, I would be playing Pokemon, and I had a detective I was talking to for a while, like red hot boiling detective Chad would call in with some clues on this case that I was involved in, and then the advanced controller, who is he's an evil crypto shilling AI, and that explains my channel point system, the XLO token, the inflation-free, non-legal tender digital currency of the future. He was trying to take over my stream to get me to advertise his cryptocurrency, which was contextualized as my channel point system. So I had a lot of fun with that. I'm in a bit of a predicament with my channel points, honestly, because I have so many. I have really like maybe 5 or 6 at most regular viewers over my last 5 years. So they have like this massive glut of channel. If I could restart my channel points and take everyone back down to 0, I would, because I'm in this situation where I either have to make things cost tens of thousands of channel points. We'll save right here. Tens of thousands of channel points in order to make it so that people are actually my regular viewers are spending a significant amount of points, or I have to set things up so that like things only cost like a handful of points so that new viewers can actually have a chance to redeem things. So it's been kind of a predicament, but we've worked through it so far, and it's not a bad problem to have. I have a plan to maybe even out the channel points distribution a bit, but it involves plot spoilers for future lore streams down the line that I plan to do. I haven't done any proper lore streams in over a year. And the difficult thing is, because the lore would take place and unfold live during my streams, I would have to write scripts out, I would have to rehearse them, I'd have certain I'd have elements that I was acting against that were pre-recorded that were seamlessly interspersed with my gameplay. And in order to make that all work, yeah, now that we've poisoned them, I guess we'll swap out, because fighting is super effective against, yeah, we'll swap out for, yeah, let's bring Charizard out. And when I swap out to my, when I'd have the elements in which the gameplay would be interspersed with these lore elements. I'd be actually playing the game, and I'd also be acting in real time, so I'd have to write the scripts, I'd have to create certain pre-recorded elements like the text-to-speech stuff, and have it all timed out so it would all take place in real time. And then there were like sort of fourth wall breaking things that would have to, like my reveal stream, my VTuber reveal stream revolved around this storyline where the AI, the advanced controller, was predicting that a meteor would strike my house at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and my stream started at about 6 p.m. that night. So I had to have everything work out perfectly, such as that that these things would all go down at exactly 7 p.m. And spoilers, a meteor does not actually hit the home of Super Train Station H of Redemption Center 1. And so there were all these very complicated elements that had to take place exactly at the right time. And so it would make it so that for a normal like 3 or 4 hour stream, I would have to do up to 20 hours of prep work for that stream to take place and have the storyline elements play out. And unfortunately, throughout the like 7 or 8 months that I was consistently having these things play out in every single stream, it really never increased my viewership at all. So it made it very difficult to justify continuing it at that time. I might make it so that maybe the lore streams are a bi-monthly thing or even a quarterly thing. Yeah, it was very difficult to pull off, but I'm so glad. I was so proud. From January up until late June, every single stream had some kind of lore unfold within it, and it was really fun for my little handful of viewers at the time to watch it take place live. And I didn't warn anyone I was doing this, so all of a sudden, like, all these characters would start appearing, and like, what is going on? Who's calling you? Is someone like harassing you on Discord? Like, what's going on? And it became obvious as we went on that it was a fictional scenario that was playing out. But it was kind of interspersed with all, you know, my actual gameplay, my actual magazine readings, and it was a lot of fun. Because I know and I'm not criticizing anyone, but I see a lot of people put a lot of love and time and effort into their lore, and then it never really plays into what actually takes place during the stream, aside from maybe a avatar reveal stream and just sort of a couple of blurbs in the about section of their channel. And I'm like, and that's actually what made me want to be a VTuber, because I've been camtubing for like 4 years at the point at which I revealed. If you get stuck, try moving some boulders around. Yeah, that's a Moltres up there. Yeah, but we're not interested in catching Moltres. We're interested in getting through. Yeah, those days of the ongoing lore. Now, and they are not fully over. Once I move into a bigger apartment and I have some breathing room, I do intend to start those bi-monthly, or maybe every 2 or 3 months. I want to have a lore stream. And yeah, but to have every single stream have, you know, all these crazy characters calling and interacting, it was a lot of fun. What is TM5? If we boot up a TM, it contained Mega Kick. Teach Mega Kick to... Who can learn it? Charizard can learn it. Raichu can learn it. We don't need it. And if we find something better, we will, Ah, so you wish to challenge the Elite Four. Alright, so this is a new trainer. Ah, Juggler. Yeah, and these are all the best trainers in the game. Now, so this is the mode is based on the Game Boy Light, but I could actually make it look like the Game Boy, the original model Game Boy. This is actually the awful pea green screen is how I originally played the Game Boy. And if anyone's unfamiliar, there's a model of Game Boy that's unique to Lunarian H's world. The Game Boy Knight, which I will treat you to for just a minute or two. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so this is the Game Boy Knight that was created for soldiers for American soldiers in the early 90s, and then was later brought to the public who wanted a lit screen Game Boy. But we'll use the Game Boy Night mode that's much easier to look at. We will use Toxic. No, it didn't work. Yeah, they withdrew Drowsy, sent out Hypno. Yeah, the thing about the Juggler, they tend to change Pokemon a lot mid-battle, so... they're badly poisoned. And... will we survive? No, we will not survive! Doggone. Okay. Alright, we will bring it... Oh, shucks, McButts. Okay. Who will we bring out next? We'll send out Wigglytuff. It's been a minute. First, we will make sure we revive Beedrill, so that they will get some experience for their trouble. And they use Confusion. And I will use Double Edge. Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is, the Hypno isn't just poison, they're badly poisoned, which means that every poison tick they take, it deals an increasing amount of damage. And they're knocked out. Hypno fainted, they got 7... We each got 720, we're about to send out Drowsy. Will we change Pokemon? No, we will. We will not. I'd have a feeling that, okay, we dealt a lot of damage there, and are you gonna poison me with that? Oh, they were poisoned. Okay, so let's switch out to. Nidorino's already level 34, thanks to that rare candy we found. Let's send out a Raichu. Jogo withdrew Drowsy and sent out Kadabra. And we'll use Thunder. Nah. There we go. And you're sort of saying you're gonna head to bed. Hey, well, thanks for dropping in. Thanks for for sharing your community with me, and thanks for representing Commander Keen, which I never beat the third game actually. We'll have to talk later about that final level, that gauntlet of a final level. You get some sleep, and I'm probably gonna do the same after my stream. It's getting later in the day, and my part of the world too. But I'll see you around, and thanks for dropping in, and thanks for sharing your community with me. And thanks for everyone from the raid who's stuck around and hung out with me. Yeah, how about that? You take that, Kadabra. About to use Drowsy? Yeah, we'll stay the course. Yeah, very epic feeling. A bit overkill there since they were already damaged, but wow, they're at level 44 now. Nice. We're approaching level 50 with our Pokemon. Will we change Pokemon? Yeah, let's swap out to some... Who else? Charizard isn't level 44 yet. And... Nice! That was quite dramatic effect. H defeated Juggler. The Jungler. You got me! Yeah, I did. Got 1,434. Let's see. Let's see who needs help. Beedrill needs help. And Wigglytuff needs help. Yeah, we'll use yeah, Soda Pops are official, like, top off our guys. Our low HP, low cost, low HP. We know it's not gonna get them to 100%, but it'll get them kinda close-ish. And we need to use an antidote. We'll use that on Wigglytuff. And we will save the game. Would you like to save the game? Yes. And so down here, let's use... Oh, Okay, maybe someone who's worth the EXP. A level 36 Onyx. Yeah, we'll send out Gyarados. And Onyx use Slam, their attack missed, and we're just gonna use Surge. Yeah, I love some of these sound effects. For as primitive as the Game Boy sound is, with Pokemon in particular, some of these battle sound effects give a really strong, like, impression of, like, whoa, something crazy's happening. Hey, it's a Machop. And a Beedrill. Yeah, let's get out of here. It's only level 22. H found full heal, which I believe we already had. Yeah, full heal is different from... Full heal will... Come on, I'll whip you. We'll see about that. So it's gonna be a juggler? Oh, okay, it's a tamer. He only has 2 Pokemon, so they're probably higher leveled, relatively. Yeah, they're absolutely on par with our own Pokemon here. Yeah, that Persian's fast, alright. Oh, they're doing a lot of... Oh, come on, again? Come on, give me a chance. Oh my gosh! No, that sucks. Are you kidding me? That's just some real bootleg Tookus right there. Okay. We'll, first we gotta revive our Beedrill. Yeah, the attack missed, so... Yeah, you may not be... Critical hit. It's payday, so we'll get a little bonus money at the end of this. And... Alright, and we'll knock them out with Ember. Beedrill. Come on, Beedrill, please level up. Okay, they're not leveling up just yet. Yeah, let's send out Golduck. Okay, let's try this again. I understand the... I didn't hit them. Okay. They use Confusion. Super effective. Come on. We're gonna use our Hyper Potion. 110 recovery. Okay, we're gonna use Toxic. Badly poisoned. Nice. Okay. Yeah, actually, let's see what kind of rolls we get on this. Okay, we hit the 4 times. That's not bad, actually. Okay, they disabled. Alright, use our other damage dealing move, Cut. And we'll survive this, I believe, yeah. And nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's some good news right there. Okay. H defeated Tamer. I got whipped. Yeah, you were holding the whip, but you're the one who got whipped. You earned the right to be on Victory Road. Well, I think the guards decided that already, but... we'll use... yeah, a couple of soda pops. We will save the game. And I don't think we picked up... oh no, we didn't pick up the... we already picked up the item that was right nearby. Okay. Oh, these random battles. I mean, I'm going... it comes to the... I think this was the first game after Final Fantasy VII that I played that had a battle system that worked like that, where you're just walking and like, oh no, here comes a battle, okay. Yeah. But at least it's, you, in the cave it's a little different, but at least it's separated. And this turns out to have something stinky in it. Okay. Uh-oh, is Victory Road too tough? It's too tough for you, I'm sure. What's the point of giving the juggler only a single Pokemon? Because the whole gimmick with the juggler is that they like to switch out Pokemon a lot. But because they only have one Pokemon, he's nearly at level 50. Yeah, but because psychic is like sort of like a mind kind of power, or I guess some of the main fears, which are fear of the bugs and fear of dark, are super effective against them. I think that's the conceptual logic. Very easily defeated. Yay! And they got up to the next level. Defeated Juggler. Well done. Many trainers give up the challenge here. Got TM17. Let's see what that is. Clear up TM. It contains submission. Teach submission to a Pokemon. No. Yeah, they'll. That's how the submission is how Pokemon file their taxes. Hey, is that a Pokemon joke yet? Hey, how did Machoke file his taxes? He used submission. Uh-oh. Someone is seeing red. And it's not because they want to allow people that don't resemble 1950 stock footage to be eligible for neurodevelopmental disability diagnoses. Okay. And there we go. Wow, this cave area sure is striking in the dark. Oh wow, the guy's looking right at this item. Let's see how worth it. Oh wow, I was not expecting that. It's very unlikely that we would have gotten to encounter the exact frame before I guess the guy would have spotted us. I heard rumors of a child prodigy. A cool trainer male wants to fight. Sent out Executor. Oh, our attack missed. Yeah, these are... You see, a lot of regular trainers are now actually starting to use items in battle, which we typically don't see much of. Wow, it's not all the time that we get such effective results, but yeah, because bugs like to eat grass and flowers, the bug-type moves are super effective against grass Pokemon. I didn't even check to see who's coming out. Alright, it's Cloyster. Yeah. So much of my team's at level 44 at this point. Charizard's still level 43, but whatever. We'll send out Raichu, the obvious type advantage choice. Yeah, I'm only one level higher than him, so he may be able to survive this. And no, he's down, and he goes. Okay. About to use Arcanine. Yeah, let's send out Gyarados. Particularly well suited. let's... You know, one thing I found out, one thing I came to learn about, when I was trading Pokemon back in, like, the 3DS era, especially with Omega Ruby, I was trading for a lot of Pokemon to fill up my Pokedex, and I've come to find out that people will basically trade any non-legendary Pokemon for a level 50 Charizard. Yeah, pretty much any. And I would hatch Charmanders and grind them up using the Elite Four very effortlessly, get them up to level 50. Nice. Max Revive, we'll definitely be using that. That's one we'll definitely be keeping. It's one we don't want to use. It's one we'll definitely, one we will definitely be keeping when, for those final battles of the game. Alright. Yeah, let's just get out of here. Ain't worth it. Let's switch out Beedrill for someone else. Yeah, Charizard. He's still level 43. Charizard's and Wigglytuff are my only level 43s left. We'll save now that we're in this configuration. And, oh, let's see. We've got... Alright. So, right now, it looks like only the last... Not until the last 10 minutes of the stream are we actually going to be out of Game Boy Night mode. But we'll get as far into Victory Road as we can. We'll probably... I'd say we'll be at least halfway through Victory Road, if not further along, by the, in the last, like, half hour or so it got of the stream. Trainers live to seek stronger opponents. And I guess that's pretty true. Cool Trainer wants to fight. Cool Trainer sent out Parasect. Oh wow, talk about the perfect, yeah, the perfect typing matchup for my Charizard. Yeah, Parasect sprite is cool, but it makes it look like the pincers are coming out of the mushroom and not from, like, the actual bug body beneath the mushroom. Cool Trainer's about to use Dugong. Eh. Oh, we don't have the type advantage anymore, so... And... actually... Let's send out Wigglytuff. Yeah, let's bulk up on defense. 1, 2. 3. Yeah, we're gonna lose a lot of HP from this recoil damage causing move. 5. 6. Okay, that's enough, I say. Oh, our attack fell? Well, that's okay. Oh. Yeah, I guess just our extreme, yeah, actually, yeah, this is gonna work out pretty good. Because what I'm gonna do is wait till they get... Oh, we just barely made that. Okay. Now is the time for us to use Rest. So we fall asleep, but our HP is going to be fully restored. Alright. Yay, they woke up. You don't have to use a turn on it. Alright. Yeah, we don't want to swap out Wigglytuff because all the damage we've bulked up by using Defense Scroll is going to go away if we do that. No, we use Chansey, a rare Safari Zone Pokemon. Oh no, not Minimize. Okay, this is going to be potentially a huge pain in the butt. Yeah, we could be wasting a number of turns on this nonsense. But in this game, yeah, in this game, trainer Pokemon never run out of power points anyway. Okay, now we'll use the Pokeflute. Yeah, there we go. Na na na. Wake them up. And use Ground, nothing happened. We will use... Oh, you know what? We can't waste... We don't have a whole lot of... You know what? I think our best move might be to try to badly poison them and just wait them out. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, good. Alright, now is actually when I will switch back to... Now that they're badly poisoned, we can wait them out. Yeah, they're... Unless they use a full restore or an antidote, this is a matter of inevitability now. So now's actually a good time. Yeah, this is actually a good time for us to use Rest. Yeah, we'll max out our HP. Sleep for a couple of turns. And while that's going on... Okay, first we use the Pokeflute. Yeah, man, just breaking out... Well, the whole idea of using items in battle is kind of ridiculous. You know, like, but imagine you just stop to play the flute in the middle of, like, an official Pokemon League, like, televised match. Like, Oh, no! Okay. That's okay. That's interesting, because it's going to reveal how significantly they healed them in terms of their HP, but each damage take is going to take down more and more, so they're going to be back down in no time. Yeah, even if they kept using, like, full, like, ultra potions, our victory was guaranteed in that exchange. And, yeah, there we go. Ah, nice, okay. Defeated that cool trainer. Oh, so strong. Got 1,500 for that. By fighting tough battles, you get stronger. Indeed, indeed. Yeah, everyone's level 43 now. Nice. Okay, let's... Alright. Okay, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to push a block somewhere into something. Where is the switch, though? Somewhere around here there's going to be a switch that we have to push the boulder onto. Oh, is it all... Oh, it's all the way over here. Gotta make quite the journey to make that happen. Oh, a Venomoth. I did not know you could catch that in the wild. And he's level 44? If I wasn't already training... If I was not already training a bug type... Venomoth is a cool Pokemon. I like it a lot more than Venonat. And I like moths and butterflies. Yeah, I don't know. I think butterflies get like, butterflies are overrated. And I don't mean that to say that I don't like butterflies. I just mean that to say that moths, for how pretty and cool they are significantly underrated. They can be absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. I don't feel like doing that again. Let's just get out of here. Save our PP for later. TAM 47. Let's see what that is. Booted up TM and contained explosion. We are not gonna use that. We're not gonna use that TM. And Azres is saying, happy joy, happy Saturday. Caterpillars are cute too, and indeed they are. Yeah. Yeah, I think they're much prettier. I feel like the prettiest moths are prettier than the prettiest butterflies. Okay. We have to use strength, okay. So we'll have Nidorina. No, it's Charizard under strength, right? Yeah. Yeah, Fly is the only HM move that's not actually required to beat the game. It's a fully optional one. Shoving along, just pushing this boulder along. Yeah, sorry, this isn't the most exciting part of the game, but we've gotten a number of steps without any battles, actually. Alright. Okay. So we gotta be careful with this. Don't want to bone this up. Okay, so... Okay. Now we want to push it down. There we go. And to the... Oh, doggone. This high encounter rate. Well, at least it's lots of cool Pokemon. I don't want to fight this fellow right now, but... Alright, let's get out of here. I don't doubt it's anything special, but okay, it's a Wild Machop. I thought there might have been an invisible item there. It looked like the kind of spot where they put them. Yeah, probably should have brought some repels, but I'd rather use the item slot for something else. And Wild Geo did attack. Okay, let's get out of here. So now if we go back down here, that pathway should be clear for us. That was blocked by a pillar before. Or a block, I guess. We're not in 3D space here. We can only see on the XY axis, so it could be a block or it could be a pillar. We can't really tell. You know, I'd love to know how a lot of these trainers got this deep into the cave, because a lot of them either, I guess, they apparently do not have Pokemon that could, a lot of them only have a single Pokemon that cannot learn strength, but I'm gonna guess they may have Pokemon aside from the ones they battle with. And we ran. Got away safely. Okay. Boy, oh boy. The price of not bringing along repels is steep. Yeah, I didn't want to spend the money on it, and more importantly than that, I didn't want to spend the item slot on it. Oh boy, every like 2 or 3 steps, it is so irritating. Alright, got a couple of trainers here. Only the chosen can pass here. I've already been chosen. Are you declaring yourself some kind of guardian of the cave? Jeez. Yeah. Kingler has a cool I don't know, like, I like this sprite more than I like Kingler itself. Which is an odd thing to say, if you get my meaning, right? Okay. What? Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, Crab Hammer. It's a water type move. Okay. All right. When I think of hammer, it's Crab Hammer. It's going to be a water type move, and Charizard is a fire type. And I guess we will have to have Raichu deal with this. Yeah, in terms of HP, we'll be fine, but in terms of points to power our moves, it's going to get more and more challenging. Yeah, we'll keep going. Oh, come on! Why miss? Defense greatly fell. Okay. Alright, we are back in Game Boy Night mode. Out of Game Boy Night mode. So, thank you, Clacker Boy. We have another 16 minutes and change before the end of the stream. About to use Blastoise while I change Pokemon. No, you have a bunch of water Pokemon, so we're gonna stay the course. We only have a couple of PP left. Oh, come on! Why miss? That's ridiculous. Alright, at least we got our utility out of it. Nice. Okay. They leveled up again. I don't believe it. I do believe it. I don't believe it. And that is why you lose. Okay, so let's use... No, we can't. We need to revive Charizard. Lemonade, yep. There we go. Yeah, we're getting low on power points to actually have our Pokemon be able to attack. What is going on here? Oh. Okay, nothing bad happened. I saw an alert. I thought it was my frame rate was dropping, and all it was doing is alerting me that I finished a recording I did a while ago when I was doing testing stuff. Okay. I'll show you just how good you are. Alright, please have moves that aren't specialized to Pokemon that have low PP at this point. Hey, it's, well, actually exactly that. Well, no, I've got... Okay, super effective. Are you gonna all be grass type? Because if that's the case, we're gonna have an easy battle. Yeah, Ember's a move we've had since the beginning of the game. Since the first hour or so of playing the game. But it's still been our main fire-type move for Charizard, our only fire-type move for Charizard. And they're more powerful ones, but they have significantly less PP, so I'm not in a huge hurry to have Charizard unlearn those and get... If this was Pokemon Yellow, I would have taught Charizard Fly, but for some reason, even though he's fire and flying, he cannot learn Fly, even though he's more than big enough. Yeah, we got Victory Bell here, the cool pitcher plant Pokemon. Yeah, feed me Seymour here. I'm gonna... I got poisoned. Okay. We've been using that a lot on our enemies, but... Okay, so we're stuck in a cycle for a number of turns, so while that's going on, we use Lemonade. Okay. And while we're still wrapped, we will... Man, where's our antidote? There we go. Only the second one I think we've had to use. surprisingly. Enemy victory bell's attack continues. Alright. Super effective. And we defeated Cool Trainer. I'm furious. Got 1,505 for one. You showed me just how good I was. Yeah. And the answer to that was not a snarky, not very. It was a sincere and well considered. You know, I wonder if I could use the bike inside the cave. Can we use... Hey! Nice! Okay, this will save us time, hopefully. Alright. Yeah, hopefully this will save enough time to offset the random battles. Oh, do we have to push down? Well, Zubat appeared. Are we just gonna get into battles more frequently? Because that's just gonna offset the, No, we could only... Yeah, okay, I see. We could only come from that one direction, so... Oh, this is taking too long. We're gonna turn the bike off. We're walking faster, but it seems like we're getting into battles more frequently. Oh, of course, if I get out of the battle, first thing I do, forget to turn the bike off. Okay. Alright, before I forget, get off the bike. H got off the bicycle. There. Oh yeah, this is a lot better. If you can get through here, you can meet the Elite. Go meet the Elite Four. Oh, a super nerd. No, a Pokemaniac, not a super nerd. The super nerd is like on his hands and knees, having dropped his Pokeballs. Yeah, we'll switch to Gyarados. This guy's got all fire types. Critical hit. Yeah, we'll use... It's likely to one-hit KO. Super effective. Let's use Lapras. Well, I don't think I have. Yeah, I have no more. Yeah, we could use Thunder Wave, but... Lapras was shrouded in mist. Yeah, its only damage dealing move is Quick Attack, which is not a particularly strong move, but... Of course they get confused. Alright. Might as well swap out at this point. Yeah, let's swap out to... Beedrill? Yeah. Ooh, I think this is super effective. Okay, reload. Didn't miss it. Oh, of course we miss. Yeah, sorry, Beedrill. How about... Alright, it's on you now. Okay. Critical hit with recoil. About to use Lickitung. Will change Pokemon. Yes, we will go to... Let's bring out Nidorino. It's been a minute. go with Mountain. Use disabled, but it didn't work. Let's go for... And we knocked him out. H defeated PKMN. No, unbelievable! Got 2,000 for winning, wow. I can beat you when it comes to knowledge about Pokemon. Yeah, we want to revive. Yeah, we'll revive Beedrill. We'll use a lemonade on Beedrill. We'll use some soda pops on our other guys. They're just a little scratched up. Ugh. And saving. Oh wow, there's Moltres right there. And I don't want to knock it out because there's a legendary Pokemon just casually just sitting a few feet away, and he just does not care. Alright. Yeah, let's run. Yay, guard spec. I don't want to fight you. Okay, fine. Pokemon. Okay, yeah, this is a one-way push boulder. Okay. No, so bring Pokemon, Charizard, Strength. Can move boulders. Yeah, just out of respect, I don't want to knock this thing out. And we have 5 minutes left of the stream. Let's save. 51 hours and 23 seconds. Okay. Let's see what we can unlock by, Alright. So we have been through there already? Because I remember we were at some point where we could see Moltres. We just couldn't interact with them before. Now we've actually made it to a point where we can... Oh my goodness, every few steps, jeez. And then I've opened up some new pathways. Yeah, and of course we went to a new floor, so... Oh, come on, let me... At least we don't have to do it every single time we come out of battle. That would be too much. Alright, got away safely. There we go. Oh, this is such a pain. Why can't there be... They needed to reduce the encounter rate. And the thing is, these Pokemon are like half our level pretty much, so it's not even like... It's a... Okay. So we are back at the beginning of the cave, except we have opened up a lot of new pathways. So I guess we're back at the beginning, but we open up a lot of new pathways. Let's save and check the player's guide for the last, and see. We only have a couple minutes left anyway. We're not going to finish this today. I had a feeling we're making our way back towards the beginning of the cave, but having opened up some new pathways. So let's open up our player's guide. Alright, so let's check out... Okay, Seafoam Island, Cinnabar Island, Pokemon Mansion, Giovanni. So Victory Road. Enter League's front door to find yourself in the Rocky Cavern. Triggers to push loose boulders and little round switches. You must open up the path to ladder D on the second floor. This leads to E, which leads to the exit. So you must open ladder D on. So there's the entrance. So if we go to the upper right, you need to push. Let's open ladder D. Leads to ladder E. Okay, so there's a third floor. Alright, so it seems like our actual path out of here is pretty simple. But we will save that perhaps for next time, when we will be playing. I said Saturday the 2nd. No, it's actually going to be Thursday the 2nd of April, and we'll be playing Pokemon for around about an hour, just like 10 minutes of Pokemon Pinball and about an hour of Pokemon itself, just like you saw here. If we got enough new people around who weren't in stream for the autism reveal video, maybe I'll do that. I'll run the video again before I make it public, just for my streaming audience. But that'll do it for now. Now let's see, is there anyone live right now that I would like to send you to? Yeah, I think it'll probably be good to end it without a raid today. So thank you all for joining me and for watching my video. And yeah, sorry Azrath, I know you just got here. But I'll send you a link to that video later. But I'll see you all next time, and thank you.